Charlie Cox talking directly about his future as Daredevil, he was like, well, first, I'm not sure about those rumors. I'm not in Spider-Man 3, anything. And then he kind of elaborated more and more on it, talking about the fact that he hasn't talked to Marvel. Like, he doesn't know what's happening. It might be another actor, and if they are planning something, because, he's assuming, well, if they haven't talked to me and there's Daredevil casting, are they recasting? Because they could. So, what do you think of that? Do you think... does this iteration continue to live on in any sort of...
I think there's absolutely zero chance they change this Daredevil.
Same, yeah.
Absolutely zero chance. It's too popular.
Yeah,
and I don't understand when people believe that they are. I know the reason is, it's a Jeff Loeb character. It's like Deadpool was Fox's character. They're keeping Ryan Reynolds. Why would they change Charlie Cox?
Yeah,
Charlie Cox had a far better reception as Daredevil than Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool.
And they're keeping Deadpool, who literally has a direct association and comes from the universe. They literally... Victoria Alonso, who's in charge of Marvel along with Kevin Feige, literally posted about that movie, blasting it, saying it was garbage on her personal Twitter. Like,
if it was Inhumans level bad, that show, I can understand exactly why they wouldn't want to do it, because they are going to recast those characters. If they don't, I'm rioting. I don't care about social distancing. I'm going after them. But it didn't. It was the only one of those shows to have consistent praise.
Yeah.
Throughout. So
even its second season, which is deemed not as good as the other ones, is still head and shoulders above most comic book shows.
Exactly. So. No, I don't get the thinking why. It's like, just because it was a Jeff Loeb thing, and that's the only reason why you think it is. Well, that's dumb.
Yeah.
No. But I mean, hopefully they don't. I don't want to eat crow in that one in like 6 months' time. But I have a sneaky suspicion I won't be eating crow.
Also, it's one of those scenarios like that where you're like, you don't have to go address everything. The way the third season ended, you can bring back Bullseye.
Yep.
And you can just pick up from there. Like, that's literally it. Like, you don't need to go all the way back to square one.
How long was it between seasons with Daredevil? It was a couple of years at one point, wasn't it?
To put them out, like, a year and, like, 6-7 months.
So it wasn't like... I want to say 2 to 3 was, like, 2 years.
Yeah, it took forever.
It was something silly like that. So, like, it'll be no different for a season 4 when it happens, if it happens. I assume it's going to happen. But I just don't get the thinking why. There's no reason to understand or to even come to the conclusion that they recast him. Plus, he's not going to say he's met with him because he can't.
He legally can't, yeah.
Exactly. It's no different to the Fantastic Four with Fox. Mm-hmm. They're saying, oh, no, we're not working on those movies. Bollocks. No, you clearly are. It's like the worst kept secret. Everyone knows you are, because why wouldn't you be? So, we haven't thought about that. No, you have.
This reminds me of the Paul Rudd, are you Ant-Man scenario? And he looks at the camera. He's like, no. And you can tell he's just laughing because he signed a contract. Like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, the Cumberbatch, Doctor Strange.
Like.
Who else was there? There's a couple of people that done it.
Oh, God. Brie Larson did it.
Yeah, right. Didn't Hailey Steinfeld didn't say not that she's actually cast, but we know they're looking at her.
Yeah. It's been quite a few of them, honestly, in the same
I was
scenario.
Gonna say the majority of them have done it. So
like thinking about Daredevil and his future or whatever that holds, we know for a fact that just like the Fox contracts or Sony, Netflix literally owned those characters for that duration because they saw what the deal was, and the contracts were slightly changed over to ripple down and change everything. So again, you look at it from that point of view, you're like, oh, so I really understand what they were doing and how Netflix favored it. So like the 2 years after cancellation is a standard thing, just like Marvel had with Spider-Man. If you don't produce a Spider-Man movie every 3.5 years, we're taking back that character. It's like, oh, okay, well,
if only the lockdown happened, actually applied to that. But
yeah. So
no.
Daredevil's stuck in that kind of
Also, just be like, let's say he says he's not in it. We know he's more than likely not. He's clearly met with Marvel. Like, I mean, why would they completely ignore this character and that actor? Like, there's nothing stopping them from hinting towards him.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to have a lawyer in there anyway, you'd be dumb not to do it.
And that's a thing. Also, like, are you telling me that out of all the darker characters you're having coming to TV, that Moon Knight and Blade are going to be more popular than Daredevil? No. Like, maybe Blade. Maybe could rival, but Daredevil far more superior. And again, if you're going to be pulling off Blade and Moon Knight on a PG-13, yeah, you can do Daredevil again. And again, before people bring up the violence thing, watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., please, before you say ABC Disney won't do violence to a crazy level, because that show has some of the most violent things in the MCU. It's really kind of like, oh.
There's literally a dude with his brain sticking out.
There's literally like decapitations and stuff. You're just like, oh, okay, all right. Well, there's
the Marvel movies are actually a really good indication of just how PG-13's evolved over the last decade. Like, you can get away with so much more. Like, you couldn't show blood 10 years ago. Now you can have blood in your PG-13.
They're evolving in some ways, but backwards in some ways. That's really what's kind of happening.
Yeah. So, you could easily do the Kingpin door scene in the PG-13 where he's slamming the car door, like the guy's head in the car door. You just couldn't cut to it.
Yep.
Which, in some cases,
it actually works better.
It's like, what you have in your head is always going to be worse than what you see. Mm-hmm. It's like in a horror movie. Like, if you don't show what's chasing someone or hunting someone down, it's always scarier in the head because your brain runs wild with it.
Right.
Whereas if you're seeing it, you know what it is. And you kind of go like, oh.
Yep. Exactly.
So someone like Moon Knight is not going to not be violent.
Yeah.
Like, that is a hell of a violent character.
That's literally like one of their most violent ones. So
yeah.
And again, they pulled off Frank Castle, the best version of Punisher in live action, on a like Netflix style, just slightly above PG-13, and that worked. So
I was going to say, because they're not like R-rated or an 18.
No.
Like, they're just that like.
If it existed, it'd be like a 14. Like, that's what they
I was going to say, like, over here, it's like the equivalent to a 15.
Yeah.
Really.
So, again, we'll find out soon enough. But hopefully, Daredevil, Charlie Cox, hopefully they get them back. Because, they were perfect.
I think, for the most part, your guarantees are your Daredevil casts and your Punisher casts.
Yep.
I'd love if they kept the Jessica Jones guys around. If they do, fantastic. If they don't, they had 3 good seasons for me. I enjoyed it. It had a nice ending. I'm fine with that. The other 2, I can take or leave it.
Yeah. Yep. Same. Soft reboot if you want, but there you go. That's